Reactor is an experimental package for building reactive notebooks in R. Reactor is similar to Jupyter and R Markdown notebooks, with the difference that the cells in a Reactor notebook work like the cells of a spreadsheet. If you update a cell, all of the cells that depend on it are automatically updated as well. I'm going to show some of the features of Reactor in context by putting together a short notebook about the beta distribution. The beta distribution has two parameters, alpha and beta. So let's start by making a cell for alpha. Set alpha equal to, say, 2. I'm going to run it. And a cell for beta. So let's set beta equal to 3. Now, say that we want to know what the mean of this beta distribution is. Well, the formula for the mean is alpha over alpha plus beta. And if we run this code, we get 0.4. Now, here is where we can see the reactive execution of Reactor. If I go back and I change alpha to, say, 3, and I rerun this cell, automatically the cell that depends on it is updated as well. And the same for beta. If I change beta, say, to 10, the mean is updated. Let's make this a little more interesting by using some inputs. So let's change alpha to be a slider. Let's say minimum of 0.1, max of, 10. And let's add a nice title, alpha. Now we have a nice HTML slider. And let's do the same for beta. So I'll just use the same parameters. And then we just need to tell R to ignore the slider part of these variables and only use the numeric part. So I'm going to use as.numeric. And now if we change the input here using the slider, as soon as we update alpha or beta, the output mean changes automatically. Let's go a step further and make a little visualization. So I'm going to just collapse these cells to save space. Let's say we want to visualize the density functions. So curve d beta of x given alpha and beta from 0 to 1. And if I run that, we get a plot. And now if we change alpha and beta using the sliders, again, the mean changes and the output plot changes. Next, we might want to add some text to explain what's going on in this notebook. So we can use Markdown and LaTeX by marking the cell as including Markdown. So I'm going to do MD. Let's just try adding a title, so beta distribution. And we can include LaTeX as well. So I'm going to paste in some Markdown or LaTeX that I've already written. And I'm going to minimize these. And now we have a nice notebook that has some explaining text and an interactive visualization visualizing the beta distribution. When you're done with the notebook, if you want to get your R code out of Reactor, there are two options right now. First, you can export the code to R, which automatically organizes the code so that it can be run top to bottom. We can also run the Reactor notebook as a Shiny document. So here we have a Shiny document that works in the same way as the original notebook. Reactor is indebted to all of the great notebook platforms that have come before it, especially Observable, which is a similar reactive notebook platform for JavaScript, which inspired me to create Reactor. I really encourage and invite you to play around with Reactor and see what you can do with it. I'm sure there are a lot of ways to break it, so if you find any bugs, you can report them on GitHub. The GitHub repository is herbps10/reactor.